Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Rich T Racing, and I'm happy to say that today's video is another karting video. Obviously we haven't done a karting video since Butmore Park, since we had that big spell at that track, and I'm happy to say that today's video does not come from Butmore Park. It in fact comes from GYG, or Gleneagles Karting in North Wales. Am I going to try and pronounce exactly where it's from? Absolutely not. One of the best racetracks in the country, nay the world. I absolutely love GYG. I mean, I took this little video right here on the Friday, just walking up the hill that sort of overlooks the track, and you can just see how picturesque this track is. It's not the best day sun-wise, but when the sun is out, it is absolutely fantastic. North Wales itself is an absolute joy in which to be in, and I absolutely love it. The track as well is magnificent. It's fast, it's flowing, overtaking is possible, but you can get great switchbacks as well. It is fan-bloody-tastic. I absolutely love it. Sorry about that email that just came in there as I just sort of lyrically wax about GYG. But yeah, I actually was able to take place in 2 races. Because I booked a seat with UEC, thank you very much guys, and also Northumbria didn't turn up, so thank you guys as well. So myself and Jacob Harris, who is a man in the BUKC, we both started from the back from qualifying. I ended up finishing 13th, Jacob finished 6th, so I'm not so happy about that. So I'm going to have to, hopefully if we get that opportunity again, I'm going to have to right the wrongs of that first race. That race, the camera sort of, it went like that, and you can literally only see the sky. So it's not any good. I mean, I'll show you a little bit of footage right now. Yeah, that's what we ended up dealing with. So yeah, I'm not going to bring you that one. It's also just not as good as the race I am going to show you, which is one that I was classified for. So without any further ado, let's now get into race 5 of the BUKC Intermediates at GYG. Okay, so just before we get into the actual race itself, let's have a little look at some highlights from the qualifying session. Nothing really interesting happens here for me apart from this guy yeeting himself into the boggy pit of despair. You absolutely love to see it. That was the only guy to overtake me during qualifying, although that's not so much of a flex given what's about to happen here. Get the wheels onto the grass and just slowly go round and have a lovely day. That was my only sort of major spin of the day, really. My qualifying didn't actually go particularly well, as I now just sort of slightly hide my shame and get the cart out of the track. But yeah, qualifying didn't go well. My best lap time was actually deleted for speeding under yellows, but it wasn't even that good. I've only been 11th. As it turned out, I started in 14th place, and that is finally now where we come to. This is the start of race 5, and you will notice that the track conditions, the weather has got so much worse since that qualifying session. The rain did hang about a bit during qualifying, went away for the first race, but came back just towards the start of the second race, so spent the entire rest of the day before this race waiting for, or just watching the lines that people were taking, and think we've got a good idea of it. I've got Swansea B on my right, you can't quite see them, and that's the line I want, but the lights have gone green, the smiley face is on, and we are now racing. It's going to be difficult on this outside line, but it looks like I have got a good way with it, and we are now heading up the Dragon Straight, and I've already made up a position on that man in the bandit suit who was just in front of me, coming in now behind this guy in the orange suit. I'm going to try and send it down the inside into turn 2, stuck behind now this guy, and you just saw there some drivers off on the track, and there goes the man in the orange helmet. Fantastic little switchback from him, well recovered there. It was Cardiff A that went off. They were hit off by my good friend Jasper Chamberlain, who we just overtook there in the blue helmet. Jasper drove up from Bristol at 5 AM in the morning to get here for the 8 PM registration time, so now coming into Carousel, differing lines here, and my line wasn't actually very good, as the man in the white helmet has now got back past me in a moment now. Yes, there you go, that is the blue helmet of Mr. Jasper Chamberlain, now heading through. Raced against him at Swansea, lived with him, didn't live with him, sorry, good mate, raced with him at Swansea, and hopefully he'll be racing for Rich T Racing at some point. But we've lost a few positions there coming out of the carousel, but still made a number of positions up on this first lap, and now heading through the S's section. It's getting all a little bit tight, and Jasper going a little bit slowly, and to be honest, I didn't care how far back I was coming. I was going to send it on him there regardless, and there was a bit of argy-bargy. Jasper himself got a penalty for taking out Cardiff A at the start, which is, I have to say, is hilarious, because Jasper obviously was a Swansea driver, and if you're unaware, Swansea and Cardiff are not the best of friends. We are big rivals, and that actually is the Cardiff A driver now getting underway. So he's already a lap down on all of the karts around him, where he was starting, which is a real shame for him. But at the same time, it's also hilarious. So I'm a little bit conflicted about that one. But yeah, anyway, that was the last time we will see Jasper during this race. Well done, that man, for taking out the car driver. I mean, no, don't do that. But anyway, back to the racing. We've just been overtaken once again then by the man in the white helmet. Obviously, he's got a better line through Carousel than I did. We now head into the Devil's Elbow. I was really enjoying this corner. I think I had a little look at having an overtake there on the man in the white helmet. I'm sorry I can't tell you exactly what university they are driving for, but I don't have that information readily to hand. I'm also sorry about these annoying water droplets on the camera, but there's also not a lot that I can do about that. But yeah, trying to find a good little switchback, and now there goes the man in the white helmet down the inside of the man in the multicoloured helmet, and I'm going to get a move done then, follow the white helmet man through on the multicoloured helmet guy, and now I'm going to try and chase this guy up the Dragon's Straight, and it looks like I've got a decent little run on him. He's bending down to try and get a good slipstream. It's sort of worked for him so far. I'm going to take some differing lines and send it now down the inside, and the move is done. But I'm running onto the grass, and we just saw there I had an incident in qualifying like that, but this time I was able to control it. Brilliant kart control from myself, if I do say so. And now I believe we're up into, you can see the front three there, and I think we're now up into 6th place. So having started 13th, 14th, can't quite remember now, we're now running in 6th. So a fantastic opening few laps for me there. Little bit of contact as well, but we were able to get through it. So we're now just going to settle into the race, set our sights even on chasing down these guys in front. Looks like I've got a much faster line through the Devil's Elbow and now into the S's than this guy in front. He's the Leaning Tower of Blue is that man heading through these sections, and I know that there are fast drivers in the BUKC who do this, but I don't, and as you can see here, I'm just gaining on him massively, and I'm looking to send it now down the inside into turn 1, and I might just have done it. We'll wait to see on the exit. I am leaving a little bit of room, but so far so good. Now head up to the second corner, and I'm not entirely sure he may very well have still been there. I'm not entirely sure. We will see when we come round to start the next lap, and I'll be able to confirm with you there what may or may not have just happened. But we're now at the moment up into 5th place, and there you can still see the 3 karts at the front. They are sort of maintaining the similar gap as they were at the end of the last lap, so I'm now going to set my sights just saying about trying to hunt down this man in the orange helmet, the guy who did it has to be said, fantastic little move at the end. Just completely, whilst the chaos with Jasper and the Cardiff guy were going on, he just sent it down the inside and made up an awful lot of time. But now I have caught back up to him just using the lines, and it looks like I'm going to now send it down the inside. Black flag there for I don't know who, but I've sent it down the inside into turn 2 once again on that man in the orange. This time I'm leaving an awful lot more space on the exit of turn 2, heading up the Dragon Straight into turn 2 now, and looks like I have got the move done, so all good there. So we're now, I believe, up into P4. So yeah, the way basically that I'm doing it is I just received another email. That is stupid, I should have put it on mute. But yeah, the way that I'm going about doing the final bit that's allowing me to overtake into turn 1 with relative ease is it's just a case of taking it slower, not sliding, and then being able to get on the power much better and smoother than the guy in front, and that was a big asset for me in this race. You'll notice as we headed through the carousel, the front runners are much closer. I am closing in on them as we are already beginning to encounter back markers. So yeah, good stuff here. This is really going to get my goose up, it has to be said, if that even is a phrase. We just now go down the inside of that guy, and is that a penalty for 107? I think it may very well have been. I don't know if it was, but basically I think it might have been on the guy in the orange. It might have even been on the guy in the guy before that, but I basically forced that guy wide and received a 4-place penalty. I was really bad at observing the board. I'm sorry, JV. I'm sorry for not observing the DigiFlag. You tell us to do it every single time, but I just didn't. I'm sorry. I'll come on to that in more detail, but yeah, I hadn't even noticed that I'd got a penalty, so I'm still going about thinking, you know what, I could potentially win this race. So spoiler alert, I don't win this race, but this is the guy right at the start, I'm pretty sure. I might even be lapping this guy. So this guy might be a lapped kart, but has obviously got a decent amount of pace. Just runs wide there. Do you know what? I'm going to say that wasn't the guy from earlier, and if it was, bit of a melt, really. Coming back now to the issue of racing, you will see there that back markers once again beginning to play a part, going to hopefully send P2 and P3 back into my general direction, and of course the race leader, we cannot discount him as well. And as you just see, they're taking such a great line through the Devil's Elbow into the S's, and I'm already right onto the back of these guys. They're getting through past this guy in the black helmet, and I believe no, sorry, I thought there was a driver in this race from Swansea that isn't actually there, but he's tried to come back on me as there was a spinner just on the exit as turn 2, and actually this back marker certainly doing a decent job in hanging on to his position, even though I believe I am lapping. Although this could, you never know, this could actually be P3. He's just gone around the outside of that guy in the luminescent helmet. I'm going to go down the inside of that man, and there goes the man in the black helmet. He's done what I did earlier, and I'm able to just send it down the inside, much more grip. That guy obviously having a little bit of a moment, and I now move further up the field. Again, I don't know if that was P3 or not, but it was certainly an overtake done. So I'm 99.9% certain that this guy in the yellow helmet is definitely one of the front runners, and we are now going to be coming on to the back of him, and I can just at this point I'm like, I got this. This is fantastic. I'm just making up so much time, so many positions, and I'm going to be on these guys. I'm going to be on this guy pretty soon, and hopefully, I'll be able to get onto the back of the leader as well. So coming into the final corner, obviously man in yellow and orange helmet will be his name. Yellow and orange helmet man with a little fleck of blue. Lovely to see. And it looks like I'm going to do what I've been doing so far in this race and send it down the inside into turn 1. Although that move didn't look so concrete, and there you go. He is now back in front of me. I'm going to try and hang it around down the inside, but no, I decide to concede the corner, a little bit less grip there, and now we're going to hopefully going to follow him through on this back marker, although that hasn't actually happened. This guy a little bit cautious on the brakes. He now gets out past him out the exit of Spoon, and that's compromised me a little bit. I think I've just been able to get back past him out of the exit of Spoon, and now heading into Carousel. He's got that gap just back open to me, but you can see there on the exit of Carousel, I had a much better exit, learning from my mistakes from earlier when I was getting overtaken by that man in the white helmet, and now got an opportunity on this man in the yellow and orange helmet with a bit of blue fleck involved as well. Don't forget, of course, if you are enjoying this video, if you have missed karting and you want to see more karting content, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe to the Rich T Racing channel, and if that is what happens, then I will be sure to bring you more karting content in the future. Remember that Swansea driver I mentioned that I thought was in this race but actually turned out it wasn't? Well, I've just realised that Swansea driver that I thought was in this race that actually wasn't is actually in this race, and that is Gareth Parker in the orange just in front. He, obviously in my final year of Swansea, he was a rookie. We tried to get him through in the test day, didn't quite work out. He then took a break from BUKC, came back this year and got his licence racing for Swansea C. Man has spun there, and it should be pointed out in the BUKC, even if you are a front runner, you cannot overtake a back marker under yellows. You have to wait until you enter the green flag section. There wasn't really a well advertised green flag section here, but eventually we were able to do it. That both of us then passed Gareth, obviously new man to karting, not new to this track obviously, and wet weather driving, very much a challenge for the man from Swansea there. But yeah, that allowed me to get close to the yellow and orange guy with a bit of blue fleck. He's just giving me the secret signal to say let's work together, but it has to be said, like, I don't think I'm a good enough racing driver to sort of really see that message and respond to it. I just want to overtake people and make as much progress as I can myself. And I'm also fairly certain that I'm a bit faster than this guy, and I'm now looking at the race leader who is a little bit further in front. I'm thinking I can catch that guy. I really can. So I'm not really in the mood for working together with a guy who I'm pretty sure I'm faster than, but we've still got to negotiate this traffic. This could be sort of the working together aspect and this could also be an opportunity for me to get past him as well. Just get a little bit compromised then by this guy in the white helmet, and that has allowed man in orange helmet and white and yellow with a bit of blue fleck to get back past me. To get more of a gap, and I'm now really being held up by this guy now in the white helmet. I haven't been able to get through in the S's. I am eventually able to on the exit, but all of the progress I had made, all of the ground I had made up trying to catch the guy in the yellow and orange helmet with a little bit of blue fleck has been lost. I'm going to have to go and do it all again. At the moment, I think this is a Liverpool driver we're trying to get past, or in fact, no, actually no, it's just a man who's got a suit that looks a little bit like what the Liverpool guys wear. He's trying to have a race with this guy in the black helmet, but I'm just, again, just so much faster than him. Heading now down into the Devil's Elbow. I'm going to be a little bit more careful with my overtakes, make sure I don't get any more contact warnings and potentially a penalty. Obviously at this stage, I did not know that I had a penalty, and we just now get past that guy in the black suit. And it looks like that man in yellow helmet with a yellow and orange helmet with a little bit of blue fleck has now been compromised heading through the S's, and this has allowed me to make up the ground that I lost when I got compromised heading through the S's, and we are now certainly much closer heading up the Dragon Straight. We've still got two back markers in our way, or again, one of them could be the race leader, I do not know. At the moment, got a big blob of rain right in the centre of the camera lens. That's incredibly helpful. Can't see a thing of what's going on, but breaking down in the inside at Spoon, you can see now that man in yellow helmet, yellow and orange helmet with a bit of blue fleck has got past this guy in the I have to say, that's a very nice blue helmet this man is wearing here, but I go down the inside into Carousel. The line not so good through there. You're going to lose a little bit of time, but I now do close up a little bit to the man in the yellow and orange helmet with a bit of blue fleck heading into Devil's Elbow. The back markers, I think that guy who's just done an overtake on heading into Devil's Elbow, I believe that is the race leader, and I can reveal that guy is Kingers from King's College. If that is his actual name, fair bloody play, you chose the right university, but I'm not sure about that, but there we go now, down the inside on the man in the yellow and orange helmet with a bit of blue fleck. I'm just going to bring that back a little bit because I was talking about stuff that didn't really need to be spoken about, such as name of drivers. But yeah, here we go once again. Obviously, man in yellow and orange helmet with a bit of blue fleck getting caught up by that back marker, and as he goes to take the optimal racing line, I then go down the inside of him and make up the place. So we are now into P2, an opportunistic move there, and one that I was very happy with. Now we are chasing down Kingers from King's College, and should be pointed out, I'll point it out at this stage, I just overtook that back marker. Me and Kingers have history at the circuit. He might not remember it, but I certainly do. Basically, what happened was 3 years ago in the BUKC, he was starting in front of me, but I overtook him at the start. But then on like the penultimate lap of the race, he got back past me, and then coming through the S's section, or the snake as I called it at the time, I tried to get the opportune line through the final corner to see if I get a good toe up to the line. Didn't work out. I gave him a bit of a bump, and he absolutely lost his shit. He really, really did. And at the time in the video I made for the Swansea channel, I was like, something must be wrong with him. Maybe he's on his period. Give him a cranberry juice or something, because I've been watching a lot of The Departed, it has to be said. But yeah, so that's the history. I recognised it was him, and I was just like, I am overtaking you, and I don't care. This will be vengeance for 2017 when you overtook me and I was not able to get back past you, and you threw your arm around like a little bitch. Yeah, anyway, we are now coming onto the back of Kingers, definitely a lot closer than we have been at any stage of the race, and it is just a case of trying to hunt him down and get the move for the lead. So here we go then, through turn 2, not taking it flat, bit of lift, but now you can see he's going to the outside line and I go to the inside, and look how much closer I get to him. That's obviously a very similarly skilled driver there, and I just close in on him so much faster than you would on the outside line. So that is obviously as I've been saying through this race, that is the absolute optimal line. He's got a much better lines, it has to be said, out of Spoon. Coming on the exit of Spoon, he's doing much better. Through Carousel, he's also doing better, and heading through the Devil's Elbow as well. But here we come through the S's. This is where I tend to make up a bit of time on my opponents, and you can see there that I am certainly getting a little bit closer to Kingers through the S's section. So it is a little bit closer than I was on the previous lap now, heading through the final corner. I think there's not much time left in this race. We'll see across the line there. It's about, I couldn't quite make it out there. It looked like to be maybe only a couple of minutes. So heading up now the Dragon Straight. Opportunities will still present themselves, but they are beginning to run out. So we'll come through the second corner. Looks like King has run a little bit wide there. In fact, he has run a little bit wide there. Am I going to send it down the inside? Yes, I am. So that is a move for the lead. Fantastic stuff there. Obviously learning from what I've seen throughout this race. Saw that he would take the outside line, saw the struggle through turn 2, and I've made that move down the inside, and I now take the race lead. Obviously, I'm not going to finish here. I have a 4-place penalty. I didn't know this at the time though, so as far as I'm concerned, driving God. I am now in first place, doing it once again in the wet conditions, in the intermediates, at a track that I'm certainly not as good at Buckmore Park, and right now my ego is flexing. That was the Cardiff guy from earlier, who's obviously coming up to be lapped again. He just knocked over a cone. I'm guessing he's given up caring at this point. Now coming through the traffic, I overtake that guy, the man in the black helmet, having a little bit of a wave at the Cardiff guy. Oh, there's now some serious argy-bargy. There goes the final lap board, and I'll come on to that in a second. But now heading up the back straight, heading up the Dragon Straight, sorry, and I'll get completely caught out by this back marker. I thought he was going one way, and then he did, and so I went to the inside. He then went to the inside as well. That meant I was compromised, and that meant that Kingers was able to get back past me. Absolutely tragic for myself, especially in the context of what I'm going through. And this is absolutely this is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster, and especially, I'll come on to the DigiFlag now, I had not seen that it was the final lap. I thought we still had one more lap to do after this. So in my mind, it's actually relatively chill. I think, no, I've got one more lap. I've got that one more opportunity into spin. I'm going to be fine. So you can see that's why I'm not hustling the kart so much. That's not why I'm trying to get onto the back of Kingers so much through the S's section, as he now goes down the inside of that man and on the back marker, and now I've got a properly good opportunity. It's a complete repeat of 2017. He's going to go down the inside of the back marker, surely, but no, there he is. He's on the out. I was on the outside of it. I completely missed the fact of the checkered flag. Come home to finish in on the road to P2. It would go down to being It would actually go down to only being P5. So yeah, so I missed the flag, and then I overtook Kingers on the exit of turn 2, thinking this was the final lap. And it's sort of around this stage I started to think, was that the checkered flag? Because everyone's going a lot slower and there's no one really up. Okay, I've maybe made a mistake. That's what was going through my mind. But yeah, so let me walk you through then what happened vis-a-vis the end of the race, or the race results. As it turned out, Kingers had racked up about 10 places worth of penalties. Absolutely amazing. Like, you can't fault that sort of thing. Really mental. Shouldn't have done it, obviously, but yeah, so he actually, I would have still won. Had I not got the 4-place penalty, I would have been again, a similar situation to Buckmore. I would have been the top kart, but obviously not the official race winner. As it turned out, I finished in where did I finish? I finished in P4, P5 even, and that actually promoted Swansea B to claim 4th place. So they didn't quite beat Cardiff in this round, but they certainly they are leading Cardiff in the championship. Swansea B technically still have a shot at the championship. When the final round does happen, whenever that may be, that will be something I'll be really keen to hope to see. Hopefully I'll be commentating on the Inters round for Clay Pigeon, if obviously live streaming is allowed for the finals. But yeah, as that has been the race 5 for the BUKC Intermediate Championship at GYG, the last karting race of 2020. When will karting be back? Not a clue, but rest assured, when the Club 100 season returns, when karting in general is back, one of the first places you'll be able to see that will be here on Rich T Racing. That's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you stuck around. If you did, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And the final thing for me to say now is ta-ta and farewell.